dirty. And we do have... Wow!
Oh no!
You gotta be kidding
Oh
me.
my goodness!
A playoff driver is starting in the top 10, but not the one you expect, as Lenard Kocsmar will be the one starting a pole position for the second race at Daytona. Outside of him, the top 10 is composed of usual suspects and some surprise picks. So let's see what's going to happen. The Daytona 500 was an exciting race, so let's see what's going to happen at the end of the 32 laps. Especially considering that Zane Davidson and Roberto Crown Jr. have the best chances of recovering points for championship leader Jeffrey Finguy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 27 of the 2025 PSRLA Cup Series. Welcome to the Visit Florida 400 at Daytona International Speedway, Race 5 of the playoffs. Hello everybody, my name is Aegis Motorsports, and the main story of qualifying is that Lenard Kocsmar, by complete surprise, as I'm pretty sure I can say, has scored pole position by virtue of being the smartest, of using the draft from other cars. Will be starting on pole position, and alongside him is William Donuts, which is, as I stated yesterday at the end of qualifying, is not that much of a surprise considering that Donuts finished in the top 10 at Talladega, and Aegis Motorsports has been one of the best teams in terms of super speedway racing. Remember that at the Daytona 500 they scored a 1-2 finish with Bruno DiGiacomo and Danny Johnson, so Donuts in second place is not that big a surprise. But outside of these two, the top 10, as I stated, is pretty much the usual suspect. Zane Davidson will be starting in third, and Roberto Crown Jr. will be starting in... Hold on a minute. Roberto Crown Jr. will be starting in 9th. Of course, way higher than championship leader and the defending champion Jeffrey Finguy, who have to start this race all the way down in 38th. Right behind teammate Zachary Fitzwater and Sam Raskin. So yeah, these two guys have the best chances of recovering massive points from Finguy in this race, provided that nothing goes wrong for them and everything goes wrong for Finguy and of course the other drivers behind them like Nathan Stapleton or Gary Movadell. Which, by the way, Movadell and Stapleton also didn't have very good qualifyings. Stapleton is starting 19th and Movadell is starting all the way down in 27th. So, yeah. Right now, as you stated, Crown and Davidson have the best shot. At the same time, Carlos Sastre will be starting in 4th. And Joshua Neely will be starting in... I'm surprised it will be, of course, Joshua Neely and... Skylar Taylor will be starting 12th and 13th, which I guess is also not surprised because Taylor won at Talladega, and and as we stated, Toyotas have been the best cars overall in terms of super speedway racing. But also we got another big surprise, like for example Luke Evans in 14th. Luke Evans, who has had a really anonymous season, and Charlie Davenport in 17th, another driver that's had a very anonymous season here in 2025. Of course, not helped by the ownership situation at PS Motorsports. But yeah, and also Tanner Pardon in 30th, which again, I mean, actually, yeah, the worst performing drivers actually have starting at all. A majority of them basically have starting positions, all beyond all before the top, all in the top 30. Tanner Pardon is in 30th, Aubrey Gardner is in 29th, William Ayers is 28th, and as I stated, Finguy Fitzwater will be starting in 30th and 39th. Then would be there's some big names at the rear, and some of the usual backmarkers are in positions that they really shouldn't belong. So yeah, this is going to be a very interesting race to see. But yeah, as we stated yesterday in qualifying, this is a super speedway race this late in the playoffs. We are once the checkered flag drops, we will be officially at the halfway point of the playoffs. So having a good race here is crucial, because a bad race can mean potentially championship over, because then they gotta deal with Talladega, and yeah, that's gonna be really hard to have a good race there. But that's enough of that. So now what, folks? Shall we start the race?
Drivers, start your engines!
The command has been given. These drivers will roll on the track any second now. And here they are. As for qualifying, Lenard Kocsmar will be starting on pole position. Second alongside him will be William Donuts. Then it's going to be playoff driver, another playoff driver since Zane Davidson. There's Kelly Sostroy, Angel Gutierrez, Alexander Rowe, Tom Sloan, Rudy Giacomo. Another playoff driver, Robert Brown Jr. in 9th. And every Alpha runs out the top 10. And I believe somebody's already hit problems. I believe, yes, that's... somebody's hit problems. Ooh! 3 cars! It have... oh boy. And one of them is Jeffrey Finn guy. So 3 cars have hit issues right out of the gate, and one of them is Jeffrey Finn guy. And his race looks to be already over before it began. So this is already an incredible news for virtually everybody that isn't Finn guy, but of course extremely devastating news for him and Ronnie Motorsports. But at the same time, Neely and Carson Miller looks like they will not be starting. And yeah, this is the first time I've seen 3 cars that will not be starting. They have already trouble before they even started. Usually it's 1 car, but 3 cars at the same time, that's the first time I've ever seen it. So we're already in for something special. As the pace car goes through 4, it's going to drop into the pits. And the pace car drops into the pits right now. Lenard Kocsmar and William Donuts will lead us to the green flag, and green flag is in the air. We're away at Daytona. And Zane Davidson looks like he will lead lap number 1. And he does, but there's Angel Gutierrez on the inside, being helped by Tom Sloan. I'm going to make a 3 wide. Sloan, Gutierrez, and Davidson. And looks like Sloan is going to win. This being helped by Robert Brown Jr., who looks like they're going to... Ooh, bit of a moment between Sloan and Crown, but they somehow managed to keep it together, as now Crown goes on the attack for the lead on Sloan. That was actually impressive. I mean, it's not a second lap, and these guys are already being super aggressive already. As we have 3 wide all over the field, as Eric Monaco and Mendoza are already dropping down the field behind, as Sloan leads this lap, being helped by teammate Gutierrez. Now it's going to be 3 wide between Anderson, Crown, and Gutierrez, and looks like Anderson is going to win this battle, being helped by Skylar Taylor and Justin Perez, as Sloan has put a safety gap between him and the rest of the field. As now Taylor looks like is going for second. It looks like she's going to challenge for the lead, maybe, if actually does. Side by side, Taylor and Sloan, and the lap is of Sloan, but now Taylor takes the lead before they even enter turn 1, and they do. As it's 3 wide between Perez, Anderson, and Gutierrez. Everybody is packed up like sardines. I mean, not that too dissimilar from real-life NASCAR Super Speedway racing in the next-gen era, to be 100% fair. I know that's not meant to be a shot at the next-gen era, because I'm pretty sure because everybody's already doing that anyway. So, what? We got a wreck. Ooh, racing getting involved. Ooh, Giacomo getting involved. Little getting involved. Ooh, we got a big one. We got a big one. Fitzwater got involved. Oh, Mendoza got involved. Fogelman got involved. Oscar got involved. And, ooh, is that... Ooh, Nicola's out. So it looks like Luke Evans as well. Bryce Egan looks to be out as well. There's smoking. And now Taylor will be taking the field to the pace car. So Egan with major damage to that car. So his race looks to be done. So is for Luke Evans. Someone else is struggling to get on speed. Fogelman is out. I'm afraid his race is done as well. But in the meantime, everybody dives into the pits. Except for, it looks like Avery Alford. Avery Alford will stay out. No, Avery Alford, Davidson and Crown. And Justin Perez as well. So we focus on Skelly Taylor. Of course, I would expect them to take fuel only, because only 5 laps have passed. 6 laps have passed, actually. And Taylor, of course, finishes their service. So I'd assume these 4 cars will be the next ones to pit. And as we wait for the field to return, to bunch up again, let's check the replay to see what caused the first caution of the race. Caution number 1, and we are using a helicopter cam for this because there aren't any good cameras here, but we're looking at Gene D'Amelio, and look at what Andrew Williams does to D'Amelio. It makes contact with the bumper, pretty much sends him into the path of Bryce Egan and Reggie Fogelman. Of course, going to send them both into a spin, and that's going to involve virtually every single car behind them. Of course, someone else can hit Ryan Little in the checkup. So does Zachary Fitzwater, Eric Monaco, William Ayers, Santa Mendoza. They also get involved. Luke Evans, Brendan Beal gets involved, Tanner Parton gets involved, Anthony Nicol gets involved. And up ahead, also in a separate accident, Avery Alford, Luke Evans, and Troy Williams Jr. also get involved in a separate wreck, which of course we're going to tackle in a little later. But yeah, that was a bona fide big one as our first caution. And of course, as we stated, as everything was happening, the Giacomo makes contact, actually Evans makes contact with Giacomo and gets in the path of Alford and Troy Williams Jr., sending both of them into a spin, at least half spin in the case of Troy Williams Jr., but a full-blown spin in the case of Evans. Andrew Williams hits the rear of the 60 car. And look at Anthony Nicol. Anthony Nicol clearly does not expect Evans, and is gonna send Evans into a flip, almost sends Evans into a flip. Brendan Beal goes through as Bryce Egan hits Nicol. Anthony Nicol, Jensen Smoking, flips the car as the car of Egan is smoking. Anthony Nicol goes back on his wheels, but the car is dead pretty much, and so is Egan's, and so is Evans. Watching it in real time. Here's the first wreck. Of course, I stated pretty much everybody gets involved. A lot of damage to a lot of cars on this side. And of course the crash as it was happening on Evans' side. The crash that was happening on Evans' side. Into a spin. the contact with Evans, and the smash of Nickel. There goes Egan into Nickel, and we got already 3 cars out of the race. So we have a big one. Our first caution is a big one. And with that, let's go back trackside. And we're back live here at Daytona for the running of the Visit Florida 400, run 27 of the 2025 PSRLA Cup Series season. We're coming out of the caution, and the top 10 currently is Justin Perez, Robert Brown Jr., Zane Davidson, Avery Alford, Skylar Taylor, Charlie Davenport. Then is Angel Gutierrez, Tom Sloan, Anthony Nickel, Jonathan Carrison, and Ali Anderson Jr. While the DNF list is already pretty big. Bryce Egan, Luke Evans, Anthony Nickel, Sam Adoskin, Anton Mendoza, and Carson Miller all out of the race. Then is Coach Joshua Neely and Roger Fogelman, who are 2 and 4 laps down. So might as well call the race pretty much over. And of course Jeffrey Finguy, who didn't partake in the starter race due to a problem. So yeah, only 31 cars left, and it's not even, and we haven't reached the double-digit laps. This is already shaping up to be a race of all time, assuming it doesn't crash. Which of course I'm praying with every single fiber of my being that it does not happen. But in the meantime, is that Roger Fogelman? I think that's Fogelman. So I think he managed. I think they're. Yeah, it's Fogelman. So the Appalachian engineers made an amazing job of bringing that car back onto the track, but this race is compromised pretty much. So it doesn't really matter. As the pace car pulls into the pits, and green flag is back into the air, and. Crown is immediately going to take lead of the operations, and they clear Paris into 1. Hopefully, no, they're still side by side. Although they're ahead of Paris by basically a bumper. Now Paris is going to take the lead into the backstretch, almost that even as Paris is doing the draft from Zane Davidson. As now Davidson is attempting a timid move on Perez, is going to make it 3 wide for the lead between Perez, Crown, and Davidson. And Taylor is trying to almost make it 4 wide. A bit of a moment between Taylor and Davidson. Taylor really wanted to make it 4 wide, but of course not enough space. But still, that's like a close call of the night. And now Davidson takes the lead. Taylor is in second. Gutierrez is the third. Another close call between Carrison and Gutierrez, and we got another crash. Ooh, that's a big hit. That Davenport. Oh god. Davenport flips. Ooh. Davenport flips. Gardner is smoking. Crown is smoking. Oh dear lord. Crown is smoking, so this race could be done. Gardner is definitely smoking. We got another caution. Pardon, already has damage. And their cars are going pretty slow. No, wait, that's not. That's Genius D'Amelio. So D'Amelio and Gardner could be out of the race. Maybe Davenport as well. And Crown looks to be out of the race. So is Kocsmar. And there's Gardner and D'Amelio taking the pits. And Davenport is indeed out of the race. Now let's check these two. But I would assume by how slow they're going, I would assume the damage should be terminal for both of them. And let's see what happens. It is terminal for Gardner, and it is terminal for D'Amelio. So this race is returning into a huge race of attrition as Fogelman decides to stay out, of course being a lap down. So he's not exactly allowed to pit. As we focus on Zane Davidson. Of course, tires and fuel for all of them. There's donuts. As Carrison is leaving the pits first, as is Sloan winning the battle for second place from Davidson, as Neely and Fogelman stay out because of course they're both several laps down. Now they have the chance to pit, but the leader should be Jonathan Carrison. The official leader should be Jonathan Carrison. And as we wait for the field to bunch up once again, let's check the replay to see what caused the second caution of the race. Caution number 2, and this is going to be really messy. Justin Perez and Charlie Davenport hard hit into the barrier at the exit of turn 2, the backstretch, and that sends a chain reaction that involves a lot of drivers, including Roberto Crown Jr. Charlie Davenport pretty much rides the wall. Now, and Gutierrez, Aubrey Gardner, Lenard Kocsmar, Roberto Crown Jr. almost flips, as you see there. Ryan Little gets involved. Davenport just straight up flips into flips. Cars all over the place. As I think Anderson has hit Evans, Duncan Ward has hit Fitzwater. As Ward hits the barrier, and now mega checkup between Alford, Monaco, D'Amelio, and I believe that's Tanner Parton. Of course, William Ayers plenty of damage to that car, but plenty of cars smoking, including Gardner's, D'Amelio's, Crowns, and a lot of cars that are not smoking but have enough damage to cause them immediate DNF. Watching it in real time, Davenport and Perez get too close, and here comes the chain reaction. Oh my god. This is just horrifying to watch. This is a game, but good god, this is a really hard thing to watch, little folks. I am not gonna lie. But oh boy. So yeah, because of that, the field is going to get slimmed down even more than it already was. And with that, see you trackside. And we're back live here at Daytona for round 27 of the 2025 PSRLA Cup Series. The Visit Florida 400. We're coming out of the second caution of the race. At the top 10 is Jonathan Carrison, Tom Sloan, Aegis Motorsports 1-2. Then it's Zane Davidson, Angel Gutierrez, Kelly Sastry, Danny Johnson, Bruno DiGiacomo, Andrew Williams, Ryan Little, and then the 59 of Alexander Rowe rounding up the top 10. And oh, I have no idea how to say this, but we got 23, count them, 23 DNFs. Plus Fogelman and Neely being several laps down, but only 22 cars on the only 22 cars are still in this race. Yeah, I am honestly I am just as shocked as all of you guys are. In fact, let's hope that the next couple of races are going to be a lot more calmer with a slimmed out field, because chances are we might actually have to rerun the red flag the race and rerun another day if things get this nuts again. But in the meantime, the field goes side by side. The two able cars of Carrison and Sloan will lead us to a green flag as the pace car goes around the turn number 4. And the pace car rolls into the pits. Carrison and Sloan will lead us to the green flag, and back on the green we go. And Carrison looks like he's going to keep the lead into 1. In fact, he is into 1, and he will be leading the race. So right now we got 3 Aegis Motorsports cars in the top 5, excluding Nicole, who retired early. And I believe in the first caution, in the first wreck that caused the first caution. But in the meantime, Carrison leads the way. Second is Davidson, being helped by his teammate Nicola Sastry, and there goes Davidson for the lead. Davidson for the lead on the outside, and Zane Davidson is going to take the lead of the Florida 400, and almost, I almost saw somebody crashing into the wall. But now Sastry is going to take a taste of leading, being helped by Bruno Di Giacomo and Gutierrez. And is going to take the lead. Now Di Giacomo potentially goes for the lead. And he cannot, at least not now. They're side by side into 3 and 4. As Troy Williams Jr. and Troy Williams Jr. is losing ground to the pack, as is Ryan Little, and Bruno Di Giacomo leads at Daytona. Unless Angel Gutierrez has anything to say about it, in fact, it does. Di Giacomo jumps on the outside line. That's going to allow Gutierrez through, being helped by Sloan and Danny Johnson and by Carrison. And Gutierrez is going to take the lead into the backstretch. There goes Johnson. They're going to be 3 wide between his teammate Sloan. And they're still 3 wide into 3 and 4. And Johnson should have it. He does. Danny Johnson up into second place for the first time ever since Daytona, actually. I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, for the first time since Talladega, I believe. But in the meantime, Angel Gutierrez leads a lap. And now, Jonathan Carrison looks to be taking second place, being held by Rowe and Philip Torres. In fact, he does up in second place, but now Rowe has something to say about it. It looks like being helped by the 6 car, as William Ayers is a modified way behind the field. But Carrison is now up into second place, but does not have enough speed to answer to his teammate. As now Troy Williams Jr. looks like he's losing ground to the pack. Nathan Stapleton currently rounding up the rear of the field, as Gutierrez leads another lap. They're going to make a 3 wide between Rowe, Davidson, and Sloan. There's another 3 wide between Johnson, Sastry, and Torres. As now Carrison is using the draft from Gutierrez. There's Sastry using the draft from Davidson to take third place away from his teammate and playoff driver and championship contender, who's at this point just has to stay ahead of Torres to pretty much gain a lot of points in the championship standings, considering that only has one playoff driver to deal with, considering that everybody pretty much is out. As now Sastry is going for the lead. Sastry is going for the lead as they're quickly catching up to the modified car of William Ayers. 20 laps already in the books, and yep, Andrew Williams has lost contact with the field. And now Gutierrez, sure. Gutierrez loses the lead to Sastry and looks like he's going to lose third place as well. As Sastry leads a lap, second will be Di Giacomo, and third one should be Davidson. In fact, it is. Charles Straight leads a lap. There, Alexander Rowe, who's trying to take third place away from Davidson. Pretty much the rest of the party is all over here. But now they're going to get free wide between Davidson, Rowe, and Torres. Not Davidson, sorry. Gutierrez, Rowe, and Torres. And Torres is going to win this as they catch up to William Ayers. Is William Ayers going to be a problem? And no, he will be a problem. And he missed. Oh boy. We got another caution. He definitely was a problem for Gutierrez and Johnson. As we got to another caution. Is we going to slow down? Yes, they are. In time to avoid wrecking into Ayers. But the caution is out once again. Now let's see if these drivers are going to into the pits. We're 10 laps to go here. Well, we're 11, actually no, 12 laps to go. No, 11 laps to go. Yeah, sure. 11 laps to go here at Daytona. Now, are these guys going to the pits? And the answer is going to be no. They will not go into the pits. William Ayers, of course, will go into the pits to potentially retire his car. So Andrew Williams, and also heavy damage on Guillermo Vidal's car, possibly because of the checkup for the caution. And Ayers is out of the race. Let's see, Alford also damage, and Movidal is out of the race. Movidal is out of the race. Is Avery Alford out of the race? He is out of the race. Oh dear lord. We might actually have to red flag this. Joshua Neely is out of the race. I'm afraid even William Donuts is out of the race. He is out of the race. Andrew Williams will continue on, but now he's a modified car. And I believe only 18 cars are on the lead lap, are still in the field. And I'm afraid that if we get another caution and if we get another caution, then we might have to red flag the race. And with that, let's check out the replay to see what caused the third caution of the race. Caution number 3, and is the classical problem in all of auto racing: lapped cars not getting out of the way and being caught at the worst possible time, as Torres makes contact with William Ayers and dives right at the path of Gutierrez and Danny Johnson. Of course, both sending them into a spin. Ayers facing the wrong way from the racing surface, from the racing line. But amazingly enough, but all the damage, after all the carnage that we've seen before, the damage suffered by all 3 cars is not serious enough to cause them to DNF. All 3 of them can continue, which is actually a miracle in itself, especially for a car that is so badly bruised like Ayers. And of course, watching it in real time, Southstrike, DiGiacomo, and Davidson clear Ayers. Torres doesn't, and of course Gutierrez and Johnson pay the price for it. And I believe this is actually the second time in a super speedway Danny Johnson gets involved by a lapped car. So yeah, I guess Johnson only has really bad luck in terms of lap cars and super speedways, because I'm pretty sure everybody remembers the crash that he had at Talladega with Skep Silver. And despite this, pretty much everybody managed to slow down in time to avoid any worse situation. We're showing this in real time, but this also happened while Ayers was getting involved in that wreck. A major checkup that involves Troy Williams Jr., Avery Alford, Gary Movidal, and also other cars getting involved very soon. Justin Perez gets involved, Eric Mono gets involved, William Donuts gets involved, Justin Perez gets involved. Of course, plenty of damage to plenty of cars, and unfortunately, all that damage is unfortunately terminal. Now, we can go back trackside. And we're back live here at the Daytona International Speedway for the running of the Visit Florida 400, round 27 of the 2025 PSRLA Cup Series season. We're coming out of the third caution, and right now the top 10 is Carlos Sainz, Bruno Di Giacomo, Zane Davidson, Skylar Taylor, Philip Torres, Nathan Stapleton, Alexander Rowe, Blaine Keys, Jonathan Carrison, and Angel Gutierrez, and only 17 cars are racing are left here at Daytona. This race has been an absolute train wreck. This race has been a real. I can even call this a race of attrition. This has been a demolition derby basically, and yeah, unfortunately, we are at the very edge of potentially having to red flag the race and delay it to tomorrow if we got another caution. So let's hope that these next couple of laps are going to be fun but also safe. As the pace car goes around 3 and 4. So Carlos Sainz and Bruno Di Giacomo are going to lead us to the green flag. The race will resume on lap number 26. The pace car rolls back into the pits, and green flag is in the air once again. And let's hope this time is actually something that is not going to cause a humongous wreck. But in the meantime, Carlos Sainz is going to take the lead into 1 and 2. Not by much. Actually, no, never mind. He's going to clear Di Giacomo. And looks like it's going to be a Celeritas 1-2. Unless Di Giacomo has anything to say about it, or Skylar Taylor for that matter. In fact, there goes Taylor on the inside. I'm almost trying to make it 3 wide. And, ooh. Davidson and Di Giacomo came very close. Di Giacomo decided to back out side by side between Taylor and Davidson. As Brendan Beal ran a little, and of course Andrew Williams lose the field. And Carlos Sainz is going to lead this lap. As these three are still 3 wide. Di Giacomo, Taylor, and Davidson. Davidson's gonna back out. Di Giacomo looks like he has the advantage, but no, Taylor is ahead at the entrance of the backstretch. There goes Davidson. Davidson dives on the inside. He's going to make a 3 wide again as Di Giacomo backs off of the side by side of the deadlock between himself and Taylor, and loses position to both Davidson, Carrison, I would assume, yes, and potentially even Alexander. Yeah, he lost to Alexander, maybe even to Thomas Lawn. As Sainz leads 1 more lap, but there is Skylar Taylor with a much more faster car than the 21. And never mind, Skylar Taylor has blown an engine. Skylar Taylor has blown an engine, and that's fortunately not going to cause a caution, but that's the end of the race for Skylar Taylor. So right now the biggest threat for Carlos Sainz has just blown an engine. Only 16 cars are now left, as Sainz is going to lead 1 more lap as Di Giacomo goes side by side with Carrison. At this point, Carrison is going to gain a massive amount of points on the rest of the field, on the rest of the playoff field, as Joe Williams Jr. is 6th, Philip Torres is in. Okay, Torres in 6th, and yeah, this has been an absolute insane race. I have no words for just what happened, as Carrison is going on the inside of the Giacomo for second place, and of course all of this absolute benefits Kalasastrai, but the Giacomo is going to keep second place even with the help of Alexander Rowe. 3 laps to go for Kalasastrai. Of course, he's got to hope that these two are going to, these 3 are still going to battle for the lead. Pretty much is a battle between these 4. Blinkies, if he keeps towards the bay, this will be a top 5. And Sastrai blows an engine. Sastrai blows an engine. Are you kidding me? Sastrai blows an engine. Sastrai has blown an engine. Oh my god, this is not the Flora 400, this is the 1982 Monaco Grand Prix, the race that nobody wanted to win, as Bruno Di Giacomo takes the lead. And actually, I know it's my team, but I really don't want Bruno to win because I don't want to get accused of keeping the race out of bias. I'm sorry, Bruno, but you cannot win this. I seriously hope you cannot win this. As Carrison is catched up to Di Giacomo, here goes Carrison for the lead. Carrison side by side with Di Giacomo into 4, he should have the advantage. And Carrison is going to take the white flag, 1 lap to go here at Daytona. It's a freeway battle for the win. Regardless of what happens, Carrison is going to take a lot of points. But now Alexander Rowe looks like he's going to take advantage of that as the Giacomo backs out. And that might have been too late unless we get another engine blowout, but doesn't look like it. The Giacomo is pretty close, he goes on the inside. The Giacomo goes on the inside of Carrison. It's going to be a dead heat at the line. And who's going to win this? And it looks like it'll be Carrison. It's going to be Carrison. It's going to be Carrison. And who is it? Who is it? It's Carrison. Carrison beats Di Giacomo at the line. Oh my god. Third is Alexander Rowe. Then is Zane Davidson, Nathan Stapleton, Blaine Keys. Then is Philip Torres, Tom Sloan, Danny Johnson, and Troy Williams Jr. So, no Daytona sweep for Bruno Di Giacomo, and thank God for that. Because, again, I know it's my team, but I don't want to get accused of keeping the race as it is because of bias. So, I'm sorry, Bruno, but I'm glad you lost. But, yeah. Oh, man, this race. Oh, dear God, this race was something else. I have absolutely no words to say, honestly. I have generally no idea what to say, really. And confirmation that Jonathan Carrison has won the Visit Flora 400, denying Bruno Di Giacomo a Daytona sweep. Third is Alexander Rowe. Fourth is Zane Davidson. Then it's Nathan Stapleton, Blaine Keys, Philip Torres, Tom Sloan, Danny Johnson, and Troy Williams Jr. running up the top 10. Then, of course, way behind are Ryan Little, Duncan Ward, Brendan Beal, Andrew Williams, and Anke Gutierrez. And yeah, 15 cars at the line. Look at all that. And of course, Jeffrey Finguy that did not even take part in the race. But yeah, this... I don't even know what to say, really. This was... This... I can even call it the I cannot even call it the race of all time, because this goes beyond the race of all time. This was insanity. Like, I have no idea what to say. This was nuts. That was I'm struggling to find the words, because this Jesus. I mean yeah, I'm speechless right now. I am speechless. I have no clue what to say. Like, I have genuinely no clue what to say here. This was an absolute insane race. I mean, I said at the beginning that we were hoping that these guys would give us something better, but I guess they give us more eventful race, sure, but not this, definitely not this way. I'm pretty sure that nobody expected this, where definitely nobody wanted the race to go like this. But oh dear God, oh my God, yeah, I think I need to take a break, but I took a break as. And once we come back, of course, we'll return. We'll take a break, and then, of course, once we come back, we'll return with the updated point standings. And they're going to assume it's going to be absolutely wild. So, yeah, we'll take a break, and then let's check out the standings. And we're back live here at Daytona International Speedway for the Visit Florida 400 that has just finished, and after a super chaotic race, Jonathan Carrison with the win is now the new championship leader, 2 points clear on Nathan Stapleton. Then Zane Davidson jumps up to third place. Jeffrey Fingai loses 3 places and now drops down to third. Fourth, 9 points behind the able driver. Then is Andrew Williams. Of course, Fingai did not even partake in the race. Of course, Andrew Williams, Gary Movadell, Bryce Egan, Philip Torres, Workaround Jr., Troy Williams Jr., Reggie Fogelman, and Lenard Kocsmar rounding up the playoff grid. Of course, major disappointment of Kocsmar, first pole position of the season, and then amounted to absolutely nothing. Then, and of course, they've got the rest of the field as Alford still leads the Best of Race Championship, to which no surprises there, considering that both Fitzwater and both Alford and Fitzwater retired. And the biggest winner seems to be, the biggest winners are Philip Torres and Alexander Rowe, who jump up 3 places. And the biggest losers are Fingai and Lenard Kocsmar, who both lost 3 places. And also, Tanner Pardon jumps up 2 places, so maybe Pardon managed to get out of pre-qualifying, maybe. I don't see it for Genius D'Amelio. In fact, I would not be surprised if Genius D'Amelio will have to go for pre-qualifying for Darlington. But of course, we will see once we do the tables after the race. But yeah, this was. I have absolutely no idea what to say, really. I mean, yeah, I still struggling to find words. And as I stated, I'm glad that Burrow didn't win because I want to dodge any possible accusation of bias. But yeah, this race is definitely going to be talked for a very, very long time, either for good and for both good and bad reasons. But yeah, this was a wild one, and if this race was wild here, only God knows what's going to happen at Talladega in I think in what? How many weeks is the next race at Talladega? Oh, it's in 3 weeks' time, because next we got Darlington, and then we got Gateway, and then we got Talladega for round 30. So, yeah. But of course, we're gonna get there once we get there. But there's pretty much nothing else to be said for this race. So I guess I can only say this has been a special edition of the 2025 PSRLA Cup Series 45 Network. I'm Alex Vitale, and see you next week for the running of the Southern 500 for the Qualcomm Southern 500, round 28 of the 2025 PSRLA Cup Series, race 6 of the playoffs. See you next week at Darlington, everybody. Congratulations again to Jonathan Carrison.